Okay, awesome. Welcome and good afternoon. You are here to stay on top of your business with Pulse. So let me get my clicker. Before we get started, I always have to remind everyone that this presentation does contain forward-looking statements. So please don't make decisions based on what you see today. Things can change, timelines, and different market demands can appear meanwhile. So I'm Noor Alden. I'm a PM with Salesforce for a little over 3.5 years now. I'm actually from Washington, D.C. area, and I've been building products for over 15 years. I love building products, so users like yourself can fall in love with data all over again. Okay, so what issue do we see today? We have a huge market problem and a market gap when it comes to data and analytics. We're seeing around 66% of organizations not able to access meaningful insights to make important business decisions. And this is for many reasons. Data is everywhere. It's siloed. Insights can be living in different places, so making connections between them is becoming more and more difficult as we're seeing more and more data scale and the volumes go up in different organizations. So this really contributes to the user experience and having the ability to see and understand the data in the way they need to in order to be informed. So what happens? 70% of users end up not using real fact-based data and understand insights for it. So what do you think they do? Most of the leaders that need KPIs to make decisions end up going with either gut feelings or fragmented data. This has huge impact in the ways that we're seeing business decisions being made and outcome-based analytics being performed today. And that's why I am pleased to introduce to you Pulse. It is your intelligent, contextual, and personalized way to see, understand, and act on data, all powered by AI as well. All right, so how does Pulse help us today close that gap? Well, it does many things, but the things that Pulse is most known for is being proactive, giving you alerts in wherever surfaces that you are, basically meeting you in your flow of work. But what's really important is that you have today a lot of data in different places, but do you understand it? Do you know what it means in the context of the business decisions that you need to make? And that's what Pulse helps you do. And furthermore, it helps you explore it, analyze it, and action it. You can follow up with natural language, and you can collaborate and share. I'm going to show you a few examples of how. So today, you can get alerts if you set up the digest just once, and all of the surfaces that you see in front of you will meet you wherever you are, whether it's in Teams, Slack, mobile, email. Pulse will give you a summary, and even dashboards. It will give you those intelligent, personalized insights that I'm talking about. And I'll show you in a little bit in a demo as well. It helps you understand. So when we were talking about AI-powered insights, and you're just looking at a visualization, it's telling you, hey, this is what happened. This is how your numbers move. This is why your trend is increasing. And it does follow up with a visualization as well. So you're both recognizing the visual pattern as well as the context behind that visualization of what's happened to your data. I love this. It also helps you explore. So you're not just taking it as what it is. You want to dig more. You're an analytical person or a person that just needs different dimensions or different data indicators for, hey, what are my regions? Who are my top performers or my top contributors? You can drill down with Pulse and find that information out. We talk about it being very easy to use and very easy to understand. But if you're still not getting what you want by what Pulse is presenting to you, you can ask it what you want in natural language using enhanced Q&A Discover. You're able to ask it whatever you want about your metrics, and it's able to come back with an intelligent, grounded answer, which I will show you in a second. All right. So lastly, you're able to share, right? What is this good for if you're not able to collaborate with your colleagues, inform the divisions in your business that need to know about your data and how it's moved, or an important metric for sales or revenue that they need to also action on or collectively action. You can add followers. You can share from mobile and from web. OK, so I talked a lot. Are you guys ready to see this in action? Awesome. All right. So I talked about proactive alerts on whatever surfaces. This is just one example of a proactive alert on my mobile device. So Pulse is able to tell me you have an unfavorable change in your data. And so I'm able to just quickly from my home screen go there, or from my digest or whatever surfaces that alert is presented. this is the coolest that I can just, within my flow of work, if I'm holding my mobile phone, able to go into that particular alert. Sorry, let me make sure. And so it's able to take me straight to my Tableau mobile app. And it's telling me, hey, here's what you have alerts for today and what you need to be informed of. I can quickly, I'm seeing that I have a customer satisfaction, unfavorable trend, as well as total revenue. Why don't I dig into my customer satisfaction and see what's going on there? Because I can tell that there's a threshold that's been crossed. OK, great. So yes, I'm seeing that I'm below my threshold. And if I dig a little bit deeper for my customer satisfaction here, I am pretending, by the way, that I am a fast food retail manager. And this is the flow that I'm going to use today to demonstrate the power of Pulse. So when I scroll down to just some of my details, it's telling me that there's a contrasting pattern right away for my customer satisfaction metric that you see all the way up top here. And it's telling me that something has been detected between my customer satisfaction and average wait time. I don't think I would have realized that right away. So it's giving me an insight immediately that I'm not aware of. It sounds like my customer satisfaction has been impacted by my average wait time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and jump back into my home screen here and look at my average wait time. That's right. I can see that I've crossed my threshold here. And even though there seems to be a sharp incline, and so I want to understand why my data is sharply inclining, I can simply just go to my breakdown, and I can see the breakdown of all the different aspects that have contributed. Right away, my eye is going to drive-through, right? That's being the contributor here. But I also want to understand my comparison, and I want to do so by showing an image or an overlay of threshold. So I want to see for each one of those dimensions, how has the threshold been impacted or crossed? OK, great. So even though I can see that my drive-through has been the highest contributor, I can also see delivery and pickup going up. But it's not as much as I thought it would be. So I feel like I need to do a little more analysis and investigation. Well, I can just simply ask, right? I'm going to go ahead and jump onto my ask feature here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my microphone to go ahead and invoke my enhanced Q&A asking this question. I'm going to ask, what is the biggest impact to average wait times, including trends? And just like that, what I'm doing is I'm sending this question to the intelligence or the AI-powered enhanced Q&A. And it's really what it's doing, it's synthesizing across. Oh gosh. That's a little more than what I wanted to ask. OK, so what it's doing now that I pressed enter, no, it's not. OK, it's not acknowledging me. OK, guys, we're going to do this again. Should I talk now? OK, perfect. So it also has this same question pre-canned because I asked it earlier. So I'm going to go ahead and press on it. And what it's doing now is it's synthesizing across, even though enhanced Q&A is grounded in factual data, so data that my analyst has published and certified, it's still looking across my data and synthesizing what's most important that I need to know about, as well as what's most interesting. So it's going to come back to me and let me know what is my biggest impact and trends across. So you do have to be a little graceful with me because I am using the Wi-Fi here. And so it might take a little bit longer. But as it's thinking, I want to make sure that we're kind of understanding that the flow that I just went through, right? I went ahead and did my own analysis. I jumped over to Q&A because I had more questions and explorations. And then I entered my question is, and now it's returning me with my kind of a brief summary or an insight, an intelligent shaped way to help me understand, hey, here's what you need to know about the impact and the trends, right? So it's giving me an overall trend. It's giving me a regional impact as well as a state level impact. And then it's giving me an overall summary to help me understand really what's my wait time impact with customer satisfaction, as well as my overall trend. And what I want to do now is, when I was looking through my metrics earlier, I saw that there was also a revenue impact. You saw 2 alerts. So my revenue was impacted too. And I want to go ahead and explore a little bit about my revenue there. So I have another question. Hopefully dictation will help me out here. How does that relate to customer satisfaction and total revenue? So when I did this demo at Dreamforce, the second time, the Discover, the enhanced Q&A really jammed up the network. And I was like, I'm never doing this again. But after already kind of syncing up that first dictation, I'm going to go ahead and take risks today. OK, awesome. So here it is letting me know about my mixed relationship between the average wait time and customer satisfaction. So it's giving me a little more insight about how that impacted my total revenue. And you know what? And the contrast between them. So I like this. I understand where in the Midwest and Northwest, my regions that are impacted. But I really want to dig into that total revenue numbers that I'm talking about, right? Why don't I go ahead? When I told you before that it's grounded in real analytics and insights, you'll see those citations. Every citation you see there is an actual metric that you can follow if you want to dig deeper and continue to understand what's happening with those trends. So this is a total revenue impact one. I'm sorry, I went all the way out. But what I'll do is that citation, I was going to click on it and just take me to total revenue, but I'll do that from the home screen. And what I really wanted to show you there is that even though my total revenue has been impacted, what I didn't understand and what Pulse is giving me an alert for or helping me understand is, if I continue on this trend, if my customer satisfaction and my average wait are still continuing in the trend, I will not meet my goal. So now Pulse is being proactive in forecasting how I will end up at the end of this quarter if I don't make a change. So I know what happened. I know what change I need to make with Pulse. And now I can go ahead and share this metric and collaborate with my colleagues on it. So thank you for being patient throughout the demo. What I'll do now is introduce one of our customers, Libre, to showcase how Pulse has worked for their organization. Luca and Massimo, welcome on stage.
Good afternoon,
and give you some real use cases.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. And my name is Luca Paleari. I'm the CIO at Libre. And I would like to give you a little bit of context about our company so you can understand a little bit better why we moved to use Pulse right now. OK, so Libre is an Italian-based company. It's part of a group. The group is Messaggerie Italiane and is one of the most important, if not the most important, Italian group in the book market. So we create, publish, and distribute books. You can see some figuring on the top right of the slides and a little snapshot of the company itself, but we have not that much time to go deep inside. It's not working? Sorry about that. Sounds better now, maybe. OK, so we cannot go through all those details, but just keep in mind that we are sitting on a huge amount of data because we move books back and forth throughout all the Italian market. And so we see figures for all the markets. And keep in mind also that 1 out of 2 books that you can buy in Italy on online store or retail store went through our warehouses. So what we did over the years, we started using, paper reports, and we made a deal with our users, to go up to the visual analytics to give self-service reports to our users. So we move with different approach with paper reports, then access to reports that you can navigate, and then we started using business intelligence. We went through different products along the years, and we ended up with the autonomy that we gave to our user throughout Tableau. In 2023, we migrated from Tableau server that we were run on-premise. We migrated to Tableau Cloud, of course. And right now, we have 2 different sites. The internal one that is called M4U, MLibri for you, and it's for the internal users, of course. And the right side, you can see that we provide our reports to the external user. Our customer access all their information throughout our system. After all this migration, we realized that our users are still not happy. Not happy because they need to look for the information. And so we discovered Pulse. And that's the reason why we start moving all the reports and moving the user to use that kind of approach. And so it's up to Massimo to explain why and how.
Grazie, Luca. Do you hear me? Oh, it's okay. It's great to be here for me as well. And I'd like to start with one word, new challenges, because like many mature analytics organization, we eventually reached a critical point. In fact, we had the powerful dashboards, detailed and complete, but increasingly people simply didn't have time to open them. So over the last year, we have faced three key challenges. The first one was the information overload, because we had so many dashboards to analyze, but our users didn't have time to do it. The second one was that we had new needs to satisfy, like ease of use, for example. And the last one was we had faster understanding. Essentially, someone who could do it for us. And Tableau Pulse has been our solution, so we began using it. Pulse for us is having a new colleague, someone that monitors what really matters and suggests what we need to notice and why. The target we wanted to reach was to reduce the time between noticing and act by 25%. And I would like to share with you an example to demonstrate how Pulse reversed the relationship between people and data. I am the sales manager of a leading chain of book retailers, and every morning I work to improve the results of nearly 200 bookstores. And every morning I arrive at the office, turn on my laptop, and the digest from my colleague Pulse is already there waiting for me with the latest figures. The metrics that I decide to focus on are sales, average transaction value, and average price. My colleague Pulse gives me only insight, no dashboard to open, but just clear insight. In fact, I drill down into the sales data and I notice that non-fiction is starting to decline. So I had to do something because I know that non-fiction for us is important because it has a high average price. So I apply a filter to non-fiction, and I can see that Como and Trento are the bookstore, are the two that I need to focus on. So now, after a few clicks, I can act, and I call my bookstore manager to ask him to adjust non-fiction merchandising. All the process, the entire process with Pulse is easy, is simple, and is fast. In fact, when someone asks me about Pulse, I answer by saying that it's easy to implement, easy to use, and it helps us act faster than before. Honestly, we are not at the end of the implementation journey yet, because we need to work on users' habits. But we already achieved important results. In fact, we're reducing time spent on the data exploration by 25%. We estimate a time saving equivalent to about 4 working days. Before concluding this presentation, I would like to say that looking ahead, we would like to encourage a broader use of Pulse among all our internal and external users, because we want that our users to discover how useful, capable, and reliable our colleague Pulse truly is. Thank you for your attention.
So I have one more. Thank you so much, Massimo and Luca, for that. You saw 2 actionable. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. So you saw Pulse in action twice. You're able to see it in Eme Libre and how some of those insights from the breakdown you were able to action, as well as that food store chain where I'm able to increase my satisfaction and make sure my revenue doesn't come off track. That's how we can use it today, but there is more. Let me tell you a little bit about what's ahead. I'm always excited to look forward, but before I do so, I want to ground you in our investment areas. Pulse is always going to be that actionable, sustainable, fast, and seamless way to interact with data. So we want to make sure we keep that sustainment, we keep that engagement, and make sure that it's seamless, high quality when we're talking about conversational AI. We also want to make sure it's effortless, right? You're finding what you're looking for, it's organized, it's in front of you, it's wherever you are in your flow of work. And most importantly, we also do this with governance in mind. So you want to make sure we're empowering that analyst and making sure that there's governance when you keep rolling and scaling out Pulse. All right, so each one of those buckets have plenty of features. I want to make sure I'm doing okay on time, so it looks like we have enough time to go over them. So my first bucket with sustaining engagement, here's what you can look forward to. You already saw notifications on my phone today. You saw how you're able to be proactive with Pulse and be informed of your data changes or if you cross your threshold. All right, what else? I talked about Pulse being in every surface and wherever you are. So more is coming to Teams. You're able to see digest and alerts in Teams pretty soon. And we know the digest redesign works, or the digest today works great. But we want to redesign it. Why? To make it even more intelligent, make it more actionable, bringing that enhanced Q&A up front and making sure that what's most important to you is surfaced first. And if you're a widget user, we want to make sure that if you're clicking on your sales, you show those immediately, whether it's on your phone and then in the future, hopefully, your other devices. So other investment areas when we're talking about flow of work is Slack. Slack works amazing and beautiful, but we want to make sure we're continuing to make it more interactive. We want to bring that conversational element, and we want to make sure you're continuing to interact with your Pulse metrics there. All right, our second category, we talked about being seamless and high-quality conversational AI. So how do we do that? You saw our AI-driven information design already when we prompted enhanced Q&A or when we asked those natural language questions, and how clean of a format and easy to understand it was. But we continue to do more, right? So we saw some of the insights in the return. We're going to continue to add more insights like pace to goal, top and bottom predictions, and rankings for contributors. We also want to make it more accessible. So today you saw a second entry point to enhance Q&A. One was if you already had a question, 2, if you want to ask, but now it's easier. It will be easier than ever. Right up front, you'll be able to ask any question you want on that homepage, but not just the homepage, as I talked about, whatever your flow of work is. We'll bring it to email too, and Slack and Teams soon after that. And furthermore, we want to make sure that enhanced Q&A can reason not just beyond one data source. We want to be able to do that across any of the data sources that you're following metrics on. So that's very exciting and something to look forward to as we get closer to launching some of those features. I talked about effortless search, right? It's really hard to find data. We want to make sure Pulse is not that bottleneck. So the things that matter to you and the way that they're organized are the differentiations that are going to happen. Very, very soon, you're going to have the ability to favorite with Pulse. That's right. You'll be able to determine your favorites, but not just that. Those favorites can be customized in the way that you see your digest. So those summaries of those metrics and that data, wherever you are, will be personalized for you by you. We'll be bringing summary insights as well, and then more ways to share. We saw how beautifully you can share from mobile. We want to bring that same capability to web and other services as well. Okay, I said when Pulse makes all these features and continues to scale to the features that we want, we always want to make sure we're empowering the analysts to do so. And we want to make sure we have governance in mind. So some of the ways that you can see is we've added new admin controls for digest. So picking the date that you want your users to get the digest and the time are things that are going to be available to you soon, as well as custom name for goal or threshold. So today you have dynamic goals, but everything says goal. But what if that's a target? Or what if that's a campaign name? Now you'll be able to have more relevant information that you understand about your goals. And metrics and dashboards. I know it's there, and in some capacity, it's frustrating when it's not responding to the dynamic filters that you already have. That functionality will be coming soon, so you'll be able to have that seamless filter experience between your dashboards and your Pulse metrics there. Point-in-time metrics. So if you are in finance or have any financial transactions wherever you are in retail, you know that you need point-in-time or last aggregate metrics. There are workarounds today, but we want to make sure that experience is native to you. That will be coming soon as well. And then lastly, we talked in the keynote about interoperability and having Pulse and Tableau be one portfolio for you no matter where you are. And we'll be taking steps to make sure that Pulse fits into that interoperability picture along with the remainder of your other products within Tableau. Okay, awesome. So I do want to thank you for being here. I know that some of you are on Pulse and some of you want to stay tuned into that roadmap and whenever we release those features. So please note that you'll be able to continue to follow us, and all of those that I just presented to you will be on our site and our blog, as well as some videos on how to get you started. So I want to thank you for being here. And if you have any questions for Massimo, Luca, or myself, we'll be around stage to take those. Thank you so much.